Today I'm starting a through hike of the Foothills Trail in North and South Carolina, starting at Oconee State Park and heading west towards Table Rock State Park in 76 miles. I actually was hiking eastbound, not westbound. This is a new trail for me, and I'm really looking forward to spending the week out here. There may be a little bit of pop-up showers today, but then the rest of the week looks nice and sunny until Friday. So I'm looking forward to being back out in nature again. And this is what the trail looks like so far. Heard that this trail is very well maintained. So I really didn't do much research on it, because I just wanted to be surprised this time. Normally I watch a ton of YouTube videos so I get a feel for the trail, but I didn't do it this time. So I'm looking forward to everything that this trail has to offer. I am heading to the Lick Log campsite, so I still have 4.7 miles to go. I've come 3.6 so far. It's quite humid today. The mountain laurel are in bloom. Very pretty. Yeah, I'm not really used to the humidity yet. It's been so chilly at home. We really haven't had much summer-like weather. So it's very humid here. I'm gonna have to get used to that. This is Harvey Falls. Really not much more than a trickle, but pretty nonetheless. This is Pigpen Falls. There's another small little falls over there. You can't really see it. I'm on my way to Lick Log Falls. I hiked 8.3 miles today to the Lick Log campsite. And this is a really nice campsite. It's really flat, and it's right next to the creek, so you can get your water. I thought this trail was going to be extremely busy, but I only saw one person all day, and he was just walking his dog near the park when I started. I haven't passed a single soul, and I'm camping by myself so far tonight. Good morning, everyone. This is day 2 of my Foothills trail hike, and this is Lick Log Waterfall. I had a good night's sleep last night at the Lick Log campsite. I was the only one there, and it was peaceful and quiet. Just listened to the creek all night long. So it was really, really nice. We had a little bit of rain overnight, but it wasn't really too bad. It was just a little shower passing through. So I have about 15 miles to do today. It's a little cloudy right now, but I think it's supposed to get sunny. So, looking forward to a great day. The Foothills Trail is blazed with white blazes, just like the AT. So that's very familiar. But the trail itself is very clear. There's a few roots and rocks, but other than that, there's a lot of pine needles. It makes it very soft. So it's fairly easy hiking. The uphills are gradual with some switchbacks, so there hasn't been any major climbs as of yet. I'm sure there will be at some point, but so far, mountain laurel in bloom. Really is a nice trail. If you decide to hike it and you're looking for a shuttle driver, I highly recommend Taz. He is a trail angel. He has no set fee. donation based. I actually gave them $150 because that's what I would have paid on the AT, and they ended up giving me $50 back and said even 100 was too much. So you use your own judgment. I thought he was well worth it. He stops at different locations where the trail crosses the roads and gives you a little bit of an update on what to look for. He also does a food cache at Whitewater Falls State Park. He has ammo cans there hidden in the woods, so you don't have to carry your full week's worth of food. So I'm carrying 4 days just to be on the safe side, and I left 3 days in the ammo can. That's about what fits in there depending on how much you eat. So yeah, highly recommend Taz. I've been following this pretty river for a good part of the morning so far. It would be a really cool river to whitewater kayak on. They have some really nice little riffles on here. This is a smooth area here, but it looks like a lot of fun. I came across the sandy area. This would be a great place to camp and take a swim on a hot day. So nice. It goes way up over there. Got the river flowing. Beautiful. They had a prescribed burn here a couple months ago, and I think I'm just hitting the beginning of it here. Some charred trees. They do that to try to take care of getting rid of all the dead undergrowth on the forest floor. Helps prevent forest fires, or I should say wildfires. Just finished having my lunch, and this is the first mountain view I've seen so far on my trip. Nice to see some mountains. I miss those views. This trail has its own little lemon squeezer. This is the Whiteside Mountain View. This is only the second mountain view I've had so far. Pretty. Good morning and welcome to day 3 of my Foothills trail hike. This is East Fork campsite. This is where I spent the night last night. I was the only one here. There's plenty of flat spots, and the river is right down that path for water. The only downfall to this site is there's a lot of dead trees, so you have to be really careful of where you pitch your tent, because you don't want any of them falling on you during the night. This probably wouldn't be a good spot if it was really windy or really rainy out. Once in a while you come to a parking area that has picnic tables and a pit toilet, so that's kind of nice. I just reached the North Carolina, South Carolina state line. I think I'm going to be crossing back and forth over this quite a bit today. But this is the trail. I've gone almost 2 miles so far this morning. I'm on my way to Whitewater Falls Park, where my next resupply is waiting for me. Of course, it's going to make my pack heavier again because I still have like 2 days worth of food, but I always like to carry at least 1 day extra just in case. But I'm walking amongst the rhododendrons now, so it's nice and cool, shady. I think it's going to be a hot and humid day later. Catch you up the trail. There's a lake down below that I can see through the woods. Not really sure what lake that is, but it looks very nice. I may be hiking closer to it. Guess I'll find out in a little while. My first mountain view of the day with a little bit of that lake around them. There's actually some benches here. They're called the Girl Scout benches. So I am assuming that this was a service project by the Girl Scouts. So very nice to take a break and a rest and have that wonderful view. On this trail, there's a lot of blue markers, and they specify a cistern that is here for fresh water to spring. I've never seen that on a trail before, but there's quite a few of them. I mean, other than getting your water from the creek or the river, they have these cisterns, which is pretty cool. I have reached the area where my food cache is, so I want to take you and show you where we hide the food. If I turn around, in the Sumter National Forest. On the other side, it's the Nantahala. So, the food cache is through the woods here. And it's buried underneath some leaves behind this tree that's down. Right here. There it is. The ammo can. There's a bolt in the front of it, so in case the bears do dig it up, they can't get it open. There's my 3 days worth of food. My pack just got heavier again. I really don't need that much food with me, but it is what it is. I just picked up my food cache and reloaded my bag, and when Taz dropped me off there, he said I could just walk down the road and there's like this little picnic area, and the trail ends up going that way anyway, but he said unless I'm a purist, it's a steep downhill and a steep uphill just to get, well, I could just walk down the road a little bit and be there. Well, I'm not a yellow blazer and I'm a bit of a purist, so I'm taking the honest way right on the trail. I'm not a cheater. I am in the Whitewater Falls State Park right now, and if I was to continue on the Foothills trail, I wouldn't even get to see the falls, so I'm taking a little spur trail so I can at least see the falls through here. There's some viewing points, just like a 1/10 of a mile, so I want to take it all in, so I'm on my way. Oh boy, I have all those steps to go up. Fun, fun. I came up here, I met a lovely couple, Cheryl and Ray from South Carolina, who were visiting, and we had a wonderful chat. Spectacular view. Crossing over the Whitewater River. Got this big huge rock. Bridges. Very pretty. This is looking down the other side. Crossing over another nice new, brand new bridge. They really maintain this trail. More waterfalls coming down there, flowing down into the Whitewater Creek. This is a great spot to relax, have my lunch, sitting underneath the bridge in the shade, and dipping my feet in the nice cold water. Ah, it feels so good. Crossing over Thompson River. I have about 1.4 miles to go to the campsite. I'm going to be spending the night tonight at Coley Creek campsite. There's some benches down there that were built by an Eagle Scout. So let's go take a look. So far, I am the only one here, which is not surprising. I have not had anyone else at the campsite with me at all so far this hike, which gets kind of boring with nobody to talk to, but I really don't mind being here alone. So this is a really nice little area. We have a fire pit with a grate on it, and these are the benches that the Boy Scout built. And then over there is my tent. So that is my home for the night, and there's some bear cables somewhere down in the woods where I can hang my bag. So that's nice. Good morning on this beautiful day on the Foothills Trail, starting day number 4. Got a little bit of a later start than I really wanted to this morning. I'm trying to beat the heat because it really does get pretty humid in the afternoon. But again, last night I had a peaceful stay at Coley Creek campsite, and I was the only one there again. I can't get over that I have not been sharing campsites with anybody. I pass a few backpackers during the day, but they're all going in the opposite direction. So, but it's been nice. The only thing is I get a little bored and I end up going to bed. I'm in bed by 7 o'clock. It's still broad daylight. But anyway, let's see what today brings, and join me on this beautiful day. I've got this nice little staircase to go down. I have noticed one thing about this trail. They try to keep down the erosion as much as possible. There's lots of little stairways. Instead of your steep climbs, you have these little steps that make it a lot easier, and it helps with the soil erosion. Good job, Foothills Trail. The birds are chirping and the sun is up. It's gonna be a beautiful day. First stop today is at Hilliard Falls, named for Glenn Hilliard, the Foothills Trail founding chairman and co-founder of the Foothills Trail. This was Point 2 Blue Blaze Trail off of the Foothills Trail. And I ran into some day hikers yesterday that told me not to miss this. So this is beautiful. It's my first stop today, and it did not disappoint. So glad I came. There's also a great campsite here at Hilliard Falls. Lots of nice level spots and easy access to your water source. This is a great spot for my first morning break. This is called the Horse Pasture River Access. There's a big bridge that crosses the river. And there's this big, huge rock to sit on. So I'm gonna sit here and have a little break. Oh, and here comes a boat up the river. How about that? Isn't that cool? It's been a long, hot day with mostly ascents. So I have 0.8 to go until I reach my campsite, and I came across this lake or river, I'm not quite sure. I guess it's a river. But I just had to stop and, oh, I just feel like jumping in, I'm sweating. This is a suspension bridge across the Toxaway Creek. There's down there. Here's another small suspension bridge. I'm in gorgeous state park. I'm camping tonight at the Toxaway River or creek campsites. There's about 8 different campsites. They all have a tent pad with a fire ring and a picnic table. Place for your lantern. A lot of people come here on their boats and then camp. There's also a privy, and it sits up. There's the river down below. There's a beautiful breeze. I think I'm going for a swim. Morning. Welcome to day 5 of my Foothills trail hike. This morning I'm eating muesli. I just put some powdered milk in there and just add water to it and eat it right out of the plastic bag. I don't normally cook in the morning when it's warm out. So I woke up, had a great night last night at this campsite right along the Toxaway River. And had a nice swim yesterday afternoon, cooled off. And what's nice about this place too is you have your own little campsite with a picnic table, and there's a privy, and the spaces are nicely set apart, so you're not like on top of your neighbors or anything. I can't even see anybody on either side of me. So that's really nice. You still have your privacy. So first up today, I believe I'm going up to Heartbreak Ridge. I think that's going to be a pretty steep climb. And I have noticed as I'm getting closer and closer to Table Rock State Park, it's getting much more difficult. The climbs are a little bit longer and a little bit steeper, but still not that bad. There's plenty of water sources to cool off. It's been a little hot and humid, but that's this time of year. So we'll see what today brings, and I hope to have lots of nice pictures and some nice video. I'll catch you down the trail. A peaceful morning on the Toxaway River. First thing this morning, I'm starting my climb up to Heartbreak Ridge, and it starts with this series of steps. So wish me luck. I just finished climbing my first set of steps, and now I'm on to the second step. I'm so glad that they have these little steps on the trail. It makes it so much easier going up. Made it up the second long flight of steps, and now it's not really flat, but there's no steps on this section. Still heading up to Heartbreak Ridge. I'll let you know when I reach the top. Silly me, I'm already at the top of Heartbreak Ridge. I'll tell you, compared to the AT, this was a tough climb, but it was very short. And that's what I have felt on this trail, that most of the climbs are maybe only a quarter of a mile, a third of a mile. Nothing like the AT where it could be 4 or 5 miles of steady climbing. So now I'm heading down the back side of it. Well, Heartbreak Ridge was a piece of cake. The woman that I met last night said that there were ladders, but there were no ladders. I think she was just mistaking the small steps. They weren't big step up, maybe a couple inches, but there's no ladders. So I was not expecting that. And I wasn't expecting it to be as easy as it is. I'm still going down a series of small steps, but it's very nice actually. These are the steps I'm currently going down. As you can see, they're not really high, a couple inches, but it makes it nice so you're not slipping on the leaves and wearing out the trail. Very nice. I am leaving Gorgeous State Park, which is in North Carolina, and I am heading towards Laurel Fork Falls, and I think that's about 4 miles. I'm not sure if it's in North Carolina or South Carolina, but I guess I'll find out. This is the trail. Currently ascending a little bit. Look at this guy I came across on the trail. He's pretty long. Black snake, rat snake. Pretty sure that's Laurel Falls. Very pretty. Let's see if I can get closer to it. This trail has quite a few suspension bridges. Pretty nice. Beautiful stream. I took a nice long break. Cooled off by the stream. Done about 6 miles so far today. And I think I have about 13 total. So I'm almost halfway there. Let's see. Trail goes over that way. I am at the Virginia Hawkins Falls down this path. Oh, that's pretty. Very nice. This is the Flat Rock campsite. It's got benches. This is a big campsite. It's got lots of space. We got benches. There's my tent over there. There's a bear cable somewhere. It looks like I may be the only one here again. I'm in the woods by myself. This is the first campsite I've actually had cell service at though. Good morning and welcome to day 6. Had quite the thunderstorm last night and it poured all night long. My stuff is pretty wet, tent soaked, everything soaked. So I'm carrying about 2 extra pounds of just water. But I don't think it's supposed to rain too much today at all. Maybe a shower here and there. I have 12 miles to go today, a little over 12. Today I'll be heading up Sassafras Mountain, which is the highest peak in South Carolina. So that should be good. And we'll just see what today has to offer. I just got on trail about 5 minutes ago. So we'll see how it goes. Catch up the trail. First wildlife of the day, it's a baby red owl. They are so cute. Getting ready to climb up to Chimney Top, but I only have 4.5 miles till I get to Sassafras Mountain. So I'm not quite sure how long this climb is. On the far out app, it looks like it's a pretty long climb, but I found that is not always the case. It's got the steps again with a little handrail. So I'll see you at the top. I just made it to the top of Chimney Top. That was about a mile ascent. Wasn't too bad. There were some switchbacks and then there was a nice little creek. So I stopped and took a break. Got plenty of water and filled up my bottle again. So now I'm on my way again. This is what the trail looks like. Pretty much just a dirt path. There's a nice big rock formation. Really haven't seen too many of these. Yeah, this is probably the biggest I've seen so far. I think the next little mountain I'm going up is called Round Top. See what that's like. I have a half-mile climb up to Sassafras Mountain, which is the highest peak in South Carolina. So we'll see how that goes. So far, so good. I just loaded up with some water at the stream because there doesn't look like there's any water crossings once I reach the peak. There's no water on the other side for a little ways. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty. It's not as humid out as it's been the last few days. I think the rain really help knock the humidity down. So currently walking through some rhododendron. It's nice and cool and shady. The trail is nice and clear. A few roots here and there. But that's about it. Hopefully this climb isn't too steep and there's lots of switchbacks. That would be really nice. So I'll see you at the top. Only a 1/10 of a mile to go till I get to the observation tower. It's been kind of steep, but it hasn't been that bad. I've done a lot worse, I'm sure, for sure. So I'm making the last push up this incline here, and I should be at the top shortly. I made it to the top. There's the observation tower. These are the views I'm seeing right now. Probably the first mountain views I've seen in days. My view from the top of Sassafras Mountain. Beautiful breeze blowing. North Carolina. Also have the state line right at the top of this mountain. Now I'm in North Carolina, and now I'm in South Carolina. That's pretty awesome. You can also drive to the top of Sassafras Mountain. There's a parking area. So if you don't feel inclined to hike it, you can definitely drive up to it. It's over a little 3,000 feet in elevation. And it's really nice. It was built, this observation tower was built by Duke Power. Yeah, well worth coming to check it out. Missing my hiking buddy Rockhound on this one. Hopefully I'll get back here with him in the near future. I'm heading to the lighthouse campsite tonight, but Table Rock State Park is only 9.7, so I will have an early day tomorrow. I think it's only a little bit over 5 miles tomorrow, and it's all downhill. So closing in at the end of my hike, and now I am heading back into the woods after summiting Sassafras Mountain. It'll be good to be back in the shade again. I'm almost to my campsite and came through this little stream crossing. They have a wire across it so you can hold on to it. I guess those rocks are pretty slippery. Welcome to day 7. This is my final day on trail. It rained during the night last night. Woke up, I had all my flaps open, and all of a sudden I hear raindrops. So I zipped everything back up. We had quite a thunderstorm and it rained for a good couple of hours. So I waited for the rain to stop before I packed up. course, I had to pack everything up soaking wet, which is par for the course. But anyway, I'm on my last 5 miles to complete my through hike of the Foothills Trail. So we'll see what today brings. A little bit of a view poking through the trees. That white you see is actually clouds. So I'm up above the clouds. Birds are chirping, sun's out. It's a beautiful morning. Another little view. This is a little bit of a better view. Not as many trees in the way. You can see the white clouds hanging over. Currently at Bald Knob. Let's take a view. Look at the views here. Whoa, wow. Wow. All that white you're seeing is clouds. Beautiful. The mountain views this morning surely make up for not having them most of the week. This is a great way to end my hike because I love the mountains. There's just something about them. There's a pretty cool rock formation. I only have 1 more mile left on my hike, and I just wanted to do a little recap of the week. If you're planning on through hiking the Foothills Trail, I don't think it really matters where you start, whether you start at Table Rock State Park or Oconee State Park. Starting at Oconee is a little bit easier. There's not as much elevation, it's kind of flat. But, you know, it depends. If you want to get the tougher stuff done earlier in your trip when your legs are strong and you've got lots of energy, or if you just want to coast at the end of your trip into Oconee. So either way, it seems like on my trip, most people were heading westbound from Table Rock State Park to Oconee. They did the opposite of what I did. The trail is beautifully maintained. There's lots of steps on the ascents and descents. So that was nice. And what also I liked about it is a lot of them were put in by Boy Scouts, Eagle Scout projects. There were some Girl Scout benches. A lot of the campsites had benches that were provided by the Boy Scouts as their projects. So I really like that they get the youth involved in this trail. The campsites, there were plenty of campsites spaced apart within, you know, just half mile of each other. So there was never a lack of place to stay. Not every campsite had water at it. Some of the campsites they called improved. The improved campsites had benches, a fire ring, a bear cable. The unimproved sites, you may have a fire ring made out of rocks, but there were no bare cables or benches. And I found more of those towards Oconee. None of the campsites have pit toilets, except at Toxaway campsite, which I highly recommend going to that. Otherwise, you're just digging cat holes in the woods, and some people don't know how to bury their stuff, and you see toilet paper all over the place, so that wasn't too cool. But other than that, campsites are fairly large, and yeah, it was a beautiful trail. On the days that you didn't have waterfalls, you had some mountain views, and vice versa. Definitely not as many mountain views, but beautiful waterfalls, nice streams, never lacking for water. Only needed to carry a liter at a time, so that was nice. So I'm almost finished this. This is actually my first through hike of a longer distance trail, so that's pretty cool. I mean, every year I go out and section hike the AT, and I normally stop part way and go to a hostel and shower and resupply, but this one was pretty much 7 days straight out on the trail. So it was quiet. I had a good time, and I'll see you at the end. Less than a quarter of a mile to go. I am officially done my 76.2 mile hike of the Foothills Trail. This is Kaleidoscope, over and out.